Hi, I'm Ulyses Moyao. I'm your trusted real estate advisor with the Omni team Las Vegas and Rock Realty Group. Today I'm going to share with you 17 tips that you need to have fresh in mind when you go buy a house or when you go look into buying a house. So let's get started. Tip number one. First is that you have to be clear why you are buying your house. If you have this clear in mind, it will actually take you focus on what is it that you're looking for, right? Number two, then once you know why is it that you're buying the house, you have to look into what is it that you want, what is it that you need, and what is it that your negotiables. Because these are the things that you're going to look into when you're buying a house, right? So then from there, you take us to number three. When you make the decisions, is it that you're doing it by yourself or you're doing it with another person or with a significant other? Once you have your wish list, your wants, your needs, and non-negotiables, you can come with this person, with this other person that you're buying the house with, your significant other, and you can come into an agreement of what can be there and what cannot be there. You know, what you start doing all these, talking and come into one mind. The one thing that I need to advise you is that you need to write down every single thing that you want, that you need, and things that are non-negotiable. Why? That way, every time you go see houses, you can take that piece of paper and see, okay, I want this, I need that, and this is non-negotiable. Let's go see it, right? You can also give this to your trusted real estate advisor, and they will actually give you something close to what you want, need, and non-negotiables. This takes us to number three. How is it that you're going to make the decision? Who is going to make the decision whether a house is the one that you want, the one that you don't want, and how you can skip, move on, or all that. You have to also make that take that into consideration. Then number four is to look within your means. What is it that you can do? Well, you can use mortgage calculators. There are a ton of them out in the internet. You can use those. You can put the loan amount, the interest rate, the HOA or non-HOA, and different other numbers that you will be taking into consideration to more guess estimate how much your mortgage is going to be a month. If you have done it before, if you're just testing the waters, you can do that. But if you actually want better numbers, you have to get in contact with a lender. A lender will help you know exactly what numbers and what is it that you need. You can actually tell them, I want to spend this much amount in mortgage, and he will reverse engineer how much house you can afford. So that is going to be the best thing. So number five is going to be look within the means that you're actually working on, or what is your current situation. The one thing I want to tell you is that do not overspend or do not max out what you can actually qualify for. Let's say you get qualified for $500,000. Well, that doesn't mean go and spend $500,000, but you can actually look within your current situation. Maybe you look for a house and you see $300,000 or $400,000. That the loan amount that you can qualify for doesn't mean go spend it all at once. You don't want to limit yourself or put yourself in a financial situation where you are not able to pay the mortgage, or you are going to be so tight that it will be impossible or very hard for you to end or make that payment, because there are some other things that you have to take into consideration. Number six, I'm going to advise you, try not to borrow money from friends and family. Why? It's another stress that you have to take on you. Why? Sometimes people think that you owe them, and sometimes you might think, even if they don't think that, you might think that you owe them still and you have to have a favor or something. And well, I guess if it's just necessary for you to become a homeowner and you're, or something off, or that means it's the means for you to get the down payment or something, well, you can do it, but literally don't put more stress on you that you cannot handle. You know your people, you know your friends, you know your family, so I'll leave that up to you, but I will recommend not to get money from friend or family, especially for your house. Tip number 7, look at the cost of home ownership. So you look into the fix and uppers. So look into the cost of home ownership. For example, now that you're renting, if you're renting, something breaks, you call the landlord and he takes care of it. You don't need to worry about that. Well, now that you're a homeowner, if something breaks, guess who pays for it? You, of course. So if the toilet breaks, you gotta pay it. If the AC breaks, you gotta pay it. Sewer, taxes, water and electricity and all those things that go together with home ownership, you have to take into consideration. So get a list of the things that you're actually paying right now, compare them and see if you're willing or if you're able to make those payments, or if you're going to be able to work on that. At the same time, you have to take into consideration when looking at houses, whether you're looking into fixing up something or if you just want a turnkey house. So take that in mind. Step number 8. Once you decide what house you want to buy or the area that where you want to buy, drive around the neighborhood. Go in the morning, go during lunchtime, go in the evening, go at night. Feel the vibe of the neighborhood. You don't want to go into a house that looks so good for you, but then the neighborhood is kind of like, No, drive around, see if you like it, see if you don't like it, see what are the pros and cons and what you can actually do. So take some time, do some research, drive around, and this is going to be your neighborhood eventually. So don't put that on the side. Number 9, everything here that you're doing, it's a process of elimination. So there are thousands of houses in a given day in MLS. So I have access to that. Your trusted real estate advisor has access to that. Then you tell your trusted real estate advisor what is it that you want. For example, you want 4 bedrooms. Okay, there's a bunch of houses that are not 4 bedrooms, so they get eliminated. And after that, he's going to get you a bunch of houses that you're going to go look into. Out of those houses, because you already have your list, you can go see them on the internet, look at the pictures, look at everything, all the amenities, the features, and then you start eliminating the ones you want, or the ones that you don't want. And then once you go into the house, you are also going to start looking at things that maybe, this is a want that you have, but you need these more, and it makes more sense for the need than for the want. So you can start, process of elimination and adjusting everything according to what you have already processed before, and you're going to make it so that everything makes sense for you. Okay? From there, we're going to jump into tip number 10. What is it? Okay, the agent is the one that facilitates the transaction. Your trusted real estate advisor is the one that facilitates the transaction. He's the one that moves the pieces together for you to be able to buy the house. However, you as a home buyer are the one who is going to make the decisions. You're the decision making. I am not, because I'm not going to live in that house. You're going to tell me. Sometimes they ask me, so what do you think about the house? I cannot give you my opinion. Why? Because you have to want it. I cannot be any influence, or your trusted real estate advisor cannot be any influence on whether you buy the house or not. Because sometimes, there are some other things that happen to us if we do that, but you are the one that have to like the house. I will not live there. I will not pay the mortgage, because literally you're going to get married to a 30-year loan. And I'm not. It has to be to your liking. So again, I facilitate, I move the pieces around for you to be able to buy your house, but you are the one that makes the decisions about whether or not you're going to buy a particular house or not. Then step number 10. So your real estate advisor has laid the ground for you to be able to do pretty much anything that you need. You know, you ask them some questions, they give you some answers, or you're wondering, okay, well, where is it all this going? You know, like, I'm a buyer, how am I going to pay my real estate agent? Okay, so for the most part, commonly, the seller is the one that pays both the selling agent and the buyer agent. The only thing that you have to worry about as a buyer is the down payment, the closing costs, the inspections, the appraisal, and any other inspection that you think that the house that you're going to buy needs. That's it, right? So don't worry about everything else, but only about those things. And take advantage of your real estate advisor, because they know what they are doing. You know, we do this every day. We deal with this every day. We have classes every day about different things during the transaction, and things that pop up, and buyers or sellers, you know, questions that they have. So tip number 11, maybe you're looking into houses, but you don't have an agent. And then you go get in contact with a particular house, and they have the agent, and they ask you, okay, do you have an agent? You say no, but you really like the house, you know, you plan a visit. Try not to have the same agent as the seller. Why? Because sometimes conflict of interests. Here in Nevada, we are able to do dual agency, but it's better for you to have a different real estate agent working for you than the seller. That way, there is no conflict of interest, there is no ethical matters, you know, wondering whether or not something is good or not. So just try not to have the same agent as the seller. Then number 13, don't be cheap or skimped on inspections. Don't try to avoid inspections. Even if the house looks good to you, there might be things that you don't know about until you do an inspection. The seller has to tell you what's wrong with the house. There is a paper that they sign off on. You know what, maybe this is wrong, this is not wrong. They have to disclose everything. Even if the house says as is, they have to disclose what as is means for the house, right? You can either take it as is with knowing all the problems that it has, or the not problems that it has, but still they have to disclose what is wrong or not wrong with the house. Let's see what packages the home inspection has and what are the things that you need. That way you will have a peace of mind knowing that the inspection went right and that everything is okay. Tip number 14, protect your investment with a good home insurance. Why good home insurance? Well, if something happens, God forbid, to your house, you want to be protected. Not just like barely protected, but really protected. So look for an insurance, homeowner's insurance, that is going to protect you during the time that you live there, right? And at the same time, home warranty. Things break, nothing, even in new houses, things break. You need to take that home warranty because it's going to save you hundreds and thousands of dollars. So ask for that home warranty, keep it up, and it's going to save you a lot. So just protect your investment the right way. Don't try to be cheap about it, because the cheap might cost you more later. Then number 15, find out, let's say you're thinking about an HOA, or you haven't thought of an HOA, or you fear an HOA. If you fear the HOA, maybe it's because you don't actually know what's going on with HOAs. There are different kinds of HOAs, and the only way that you will be able to understand HOAs and not be fearful of them is if you literally read their reseller package. Sometimes it's not that crazy, or sometimes it is, but that's why you have 5 days to review the reseller package and understand what is that the community wants, what is it the community needs in that particular area that you're trying to live, so that you can understand and be like, okay, I like this, I don't like that. Well, I can live with this other stuff that they're actually considering But so that's why you actually have 5 days to review that and let them know, I want to live here or I don't want to live here. So consider that. Number 16, when you're looking for financing, consider your mortgage option wisely. So let's say maybe you don't have enough down payment, but so you need assistance. So when you do down payment assistance, there is a trade-off. Maybe it's a little higher interest rate, or but if that's the difference between whether or not you go into the home ownership or not, you can balance that out. Your lender is going to explain what your interest rate, what your mortgage is going to be, so you can actually balance out what is it that you need. And maybe if you need down payment assistance, go for it. And if you are able to collect the money, if you are able to save the money and you have the money, go for it, right? But always consider your mortgage options wisely. Another option is that sometimes we have the balloon mortgages, or 1 to 3 or 1 to 5, is that in 3 years, this mortgage is going to blow, and the interest rate is going to go up or down and might be very variable, and you might not be able to lock it, right? There are some restrictions about it. So be careful about what mortgage you choose. For example, if there is a penalty for early repayment, or if you pay more in your mortgage a year. So there are all those little things might sound silly, but they're actually still out there. You don't want to be caught in a situation where you cannot pay your mortgage, because then all of a sudden you have to pay interest, and nothing to the principal. So be careful on that one. Number 17 is once you buy your house, once you go through the process of choosing, picking, eliminating, and all that stuff, you actually get your house. You get the keys, you're ready, you sign everything, you get the mortgage. And what do you do now? Well, the one thing I can tell you is, do not start getting credits, let's say for furniture or for appliances. Just wait and go into your house with whatever you have and start feeling what is it that you actually need. Why do I say that? Right? Like, it's because I don't want you to be in a financial situation where everything is so tight because you have to make payments here, payments there, payments here, payments there. No, try to feel what is it that you need. Once you live in the house, once you actually start, looking into the house, you can even, if you were thinking about upgrading something, maybe you will not worry about that particular, upgrade. Maybe another fix that you have over here. Or maybe you wanted an 80-inch TV, but now you said, no, the TV that I have will work well here. So make wise decisions, especially try to do a 6 months plan about your house and when you move into your house, because once you're in your house, you start going to feeling a little bit different. You're going to start, of course, feeling like home, and you're going to actually, once you get the first payment and the second payment, you can actually see how your finances are going to fall and what is it that you can afford, what you can do. So just an advice. Cool. So 17 tips that now that you have them fresh in mind, you can go review this video, and you're going to have that fresh in mind every time you go see a house. What is it that you want? What is it that you need? The mortgage and everything. That way you can make a wise decision. And as I told you before, you are the decision making. I am not, or your trusted real estate advisor. It's not the ones that make the decisions. So let me know in the comments below what point you think it's very important to you, and how is it that you are working with it, or maybe you didn't know about, or maybe you thought about it, and now that I'm actually telling you the common sense, it actually makes sense to you. So let me ask you 3 things. Number 1, like this video, then subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already, and number 3, share this video. If you're in the process of buying a house, let me know, especially if you're in the Las Vegas area, or if you need help getting a real estate advisor in your state, go and send me a message and I will be able to help you. So my name is, again, Ulyses Moyao, your trusted real estate advisor with the Omni team Las Vegas and Rock Realty Group. And I'll see you soon.